Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University. School of Education, SOA. Postgraduate Certificate in Information and Assistive Technologies for the Instructors of Visually Impaired, PGCIATIVI. MVEIO 1-2 Assistive and Adaptive Technologies. Block 1 Overview of Assistive and Adaptive Technologies. Unit 4 Emerging Trends. 4.1 Introduction. The technologies used in information and communication products are advancing at an ever-increasing rate. Devices are getting smaller, lighter, cheaper, and more capable. Electronics are being incorporated into practically everything, making a wide variety of products programmable and thus more flexible. Computing power is increasing exponentially. In addition, we will also discuss some of the terminology closely linked with new advances in assistive technology. More details of these terms can be obtained from further readings. In this unit we shall emerging trends in the area of assistive technology and ICT in general. 4.2 Objectives. After going through this unit, you will be able to discuss the changes in information and communication technologies, ICT. New opportunities, barriers, concerns, and issues. Emerging trends in different areas. New opportunities, and smart technologies. 4.3 Changes in information and communication technologies, ICT. Information and communication technologies are changing at an ever-increasing rate. What used to be multi-year product life cycles have now decreased in many instances to life cycles of less than a year. Previous accessibility strategies involving the development of adaptive technologies, or accessible versions of new technologies, are failing due to this rapid turnover. This is exacerbated by the fact that it is not just products that turn over, but the underlying technologies as well. There are many emerging technology trends that affect technologies used by people with disabilities. 4 That will have particular impact on information and communication technologies, ICT, are increasing computational power, combined with decreasing size and costs. New interface research in areas such as virtual projected interfaces, speech input and output, direct brain interfaces, multimodal interfaces, and artificial intelligent agents that can act as mediators. Ubiquitous connectivity and network services, including the ability to be in constant connection with people or services that can provide assistance or augment a person's abilities, all with technologies that soon will be wearable or incorporated directly into clothing, and creation of virtual places, service providers, and products that can enable a person to shop, explore, learn, travel, socialize, and work in cyberspace. 4.4 New opportunities. These technical advances will provide a number of opportunities for improvement in the daily lives of individuals with disabilities, including work, education, travel, entertainment, healthcare, and independent living. It is becoming much easier to make mainstream products more accessible. The increasing flexibility and adaptability that technology advances bring to mainstream products will make it more practical and cost-effective to build accessibility directly into these products, often in ways that increase their mass market appeal. Although products have been getting progressively more complex for some time now, advances in key technologies will soon make it possible to reverse that trend and make products simpler. Improvements in connectivity and interoperability will enable individuals with severe or multiple disabilities who could not operate the standard interface on universally designed products to use products via a personal interface device that matches their abilities. Less costly and more effective assistive technologies, will also be possible as technology advances. More importantly, however, emerging technologies will enable the development of new types of including technologies that can better address the needs of individuals with language, learning, and some types of cognitive disabilities. A potential for new, intelligent AT is emerging that was previously not possible. Translating and transforming technologies will be able to take information that is not perceivable or understandable to many with sensory or cognitive impairments, and render it into a form that they can use. Human augmentation technologies will enhance some individuals' basic abilities, enabling them to better deal with the world as they encounter it. Advances in technology will also reduce the size and cost of products, making them easier to carry, wear, and, in some instances, replace. Assistive devices will be made available to and usable by those who would not have used them in the past out of a concern that they might lose them. 4.5 Barriers, concerns and issues. Many of the same technological advances that show great promise of improved accessibility, however, also have the potential to create new barriers for people with disabilities. The following are some emerging technology trends that are causing accessibility problems. Devices will continue to get more complex to operate before they get simpler. This is already a problem for mainstream users, but even more of a problem for individuals with cognitive disabilities and people who have cognitive decline due to aging. Increased use of digital controls, e.g., push buttons used in combination with displays, touch screens, etc., is creating problems for individuals with blindness, cognitive and other disabilities. The shrinking size of products is creating problems for people with physical and visual disabilities. The trend toward closed systems, for digital rights management or security reasons, is preventing individuals from adapting devices to make them accessible, or from attaching assistive technology so they can access the devices. Increasing use of automated self-service devices, especially in unattended locations, is posing problems for some, and absolute barriers for others. The decrease of face-to-face interaction, and increase in e-business, e-government, e-learning, e-shopping, etc., is resulting in a growing portion of our everyday world and services becoming inaccessible to those who are unable to access these internet-based places and services. In addition, the incorporation of new technologies into products is causing products to advance beyond current accessibility techniques and strategies. The rapid jump of mainstream technologies, that is, the rapid replacement of one product by another, is so fast that assistive technology developers cannot keep pace. Even versions of mainstream technologies that happen to be accessible to a particular group can quickly jump back out of the marketplace. To complicate the situation further, the convergence of functions is accompanied by a divergence of implementation. That is, products increasingly perform multiple functions that were previously performed by separate devices, but these converged products are using different, and often incompatible, standards or methods to perform the functions. This can have a negative effect on interoperability between and mainstream technology where standards and requirements are often weak or non-existent. Thus, without action, the gap between the mainstream technology products being introduced and the assistive technologies necessary to make them accessible will increase, as will the numbers of technologies for which no accessibility adaptations are available. Another concern is that technology advances are causing functions and product types to develop beyond the scope of existing policy. For example, when telephony moved from the public switched telephone network, PSTN, to the Internet, the accessibility regulations did not keep pace. The FCC determined that the Internet was information technology, and that the access regulations apply only to telecommunications, even though people were using the same phones and the same household wiring to make phone calls to the same people, many of whom were on the PSTN. Although the FCC has recently applied some telecommunications policies, namely those requiring E911 call handling, electronic surveillance, and contributions to the Universal Service Fund, to some IP services, most of the remaining telecommunications regulations, including those requiring accessibility, have not been applied to these new technologies. Internet Protocol Television, IPTV, manufacturers are now talking about including conversation capabilities in their base technologies, again raising the question as to whether telecommunication accessibility will apply to these phone calls. When accessibility is tied to technologies that become obsolete, often to be replaced by multiple new technologies, the accessibility requirements are often late or deemed not applicable. The shift of education, retail sales, etc., to the Internet after the Aadhaar was drafted resulted in the Internet versions of these activities not being specifically mentioned in the law. This is another Example of policy not keeping pace with technology. The evolving technology, involving copyright and digital rights management is another example. Trend 1. Ever-increasing computational power plus decreasing size and cost. Computational power is growing at an exponential rate. At the same time, the size of electronic components is shrinking, decreasing product size, power consumption, and cost. Raymond Kurzweil helped to make this growth real too. Those not used to dealing in exponentials, with the following, in 2000, $1,000 could buy a computer that had the computational power of an insect. By 2010, $1,000 will purchase the computational power of a mouse. By 2020, $1,000 will purchase the computational power of the human brain. By 2040, $1,000 will purchase the computational power of all the brains in the human race. Kurzweil has also projected 2029 as the year for having both the hardware and software to have computers that operate at human levels. Personal digital assistants have shrunk from the size of paperback books to credit card size, and now to a function that runs in the back of a cell phone. Cell phones have shrunk from something just under the size and weight of a brick to cigarette lighter size, most of which is occupied by the battery. Multiple web servers can fit on a fingernail, sans power supply, and RJ45 internet cable. Jacks are available that have web servers built directly inside the jack. Researchers have created gears the diameter of a human hair, motors that are 100 times smaller than a human hair, and are now exploring tiny cellular scale mechanisms that would use flagella to move about in the bloodstream. The entire field of nanotechnology is taking off, supported by major federal funding. Although very expensive technologies are needed to create these devices, the cost per device is dropping precipitously. Sensors that were once hand-assembled are now created en masse, and sometimes even created in a printing-like process. The cost of computing drops by a factor of 10 approximately every 4 to 5 years. It is not uncommon to find children's video games that have more computing power than supercomputers of just 10 to 15 years prior. Scientists are now turning to light instead of wires in microchips to keep up with the speed. This trend towards more computational power, with decreased size and cost, can make possible improved and entirely new types of assistive technology. This trend is also providing capabilities in mainstream technologies that can enable them to more easily and effectively meet the needs of people with disabilities. Trend 2. Technology advances enabling new types of interfaces. The human interface is one of the most important determinants of whether a technology product can be used by people with disabilities. Advances in interface technology are creating new opportunities for better assistive technologies, more accessible mainstream technologies, and entirely new concepts for controlling both. Projected interfaces. Using a projector and camera, companies have created products that can project anything from a keyboard to a full display and control panel onto a tabletop, a wall, or any other flat surface. People can then touch the buttons in this image. The camera tracks movements, and the buttons or keys operate as if they really existed. One device is pocket-sized, projects a keyboard onto the tabletop, and allows users to enter data into their PDA by typing on the image of the keyboard on the tabletop. Other projected interfaces use sound waves. Virtual interfaces. Going one step further, researchers have demonstrated the ability to project an image which floats in space in front of a person. With this glasses or goggle-based system, only the user can see the image floating there. Some systems project the image directly onto the retina. A pocket controller or gesture recognition can be used to operate the controls that float along the display. Motion sensors can cause the displays to move with the user's head or stay stationary. Augmented reality. Researchers are also using this ability to project images to overlay them with what a person is seeing in reality, to create an augmented reality. One project envisions travelers who can move about in a city in a foreign country by wearing a pair of glasses that automatically recognizes all of the signs and translates them. Whenever foreign travelers look at a sign, they would see a translation of that sign, in their native language, projected over the top of the sign. Virtual reality research on ultra-high resolution displays has a target of being able to display images that appear with the same fidelity as reality. Researchers look forward to the day when the resolution and costs drop to the point that entire walls can be painted with display technology to allow them to serve as windows, workspaces, artwork, or entertainment, as the user desires. Introducing three-dimensional viewing and displays that work in 360 degrees. Researchers have a goal of eventually creating walls or environments that are indistinguishable from reality. Realistic imaging technologies are already being used in classrooms, primarily to teach science. The ability to virtually shrink oneself can be used to explore things that would otherwise not be visible or manipulable by humans. The ability to zoom out can provide more global perspectives. The ability to carry out virtual chemistry experiments can allow students to conduct the experiments that are most interesting or educational, rather than those that are the safest, from poisoning or explosion, or cheapest, not involving expensive chemicals or elements. Time can also be expanded or compressed as needed to facilitate perception, manipulations, or learning. Hands-free operation and voice control. There are already hands-free telephones. New phase array microphones have been developed that can pick up a single person's voice and cancel out surrounding sounds, allowing communication and voice control in noisy environments. There are cameras that can self-adjust to track a user's face, allowing face-to-face communication for those who cannot reach out to adjust cameras. Rudimentary speech recognition is available on a $3 chip. And speech recognition within a limited topic domain is commonly used. IBM has a superhuman speech recognition project, the goal of which is to create technology that can recognize speech better than humans can. Speech output. The cost to build speech output into products has plummeted to the point where speech can be provided on almost anything. All of the common operating systems today have free speech synthesizers built into them or available for them. Hallmark has a series of greeting cards with speech output that, at $3.99, are just 50 cents more than paper. Non-electronic cards. Recently, a standard cell phone that had been on the market for a year received a software-only upgrade and became a talking cell phone, with not only digitized speech talking menus, but also with text-to-speech capability for short message service, SMS, messages. Natural language processing. The capability of technology to process human speech continues to evolve. Although full, open-topic natural language processing is not yet available, natural language processing for constrained topics is being used on the telephone and soon may allow people to talk successfully to products. Artificial intelligent agents. Websites are available that allow users to text, chat with a virtual person who will help them find information on the site. Research on task modeling, artificial intelligence, and natural language are targeted toward creating agents users can interact with, helping them find information, operate controls, etc. Often the subject of science fiction, simple forms of intelligent agents are reaching the point in technology development of becoming a reality in the home. Microprocessor-controlled user interfaces. When products are controlled by microprocessor running programs as they are today, they can be programmed to operate in different ways at different times. The use of more powerful processors with more memory is resulting in the emergence of new devices that can be controlled in many different ways and can be changed to meet user preferences or needs. Multimodal communication. There is a rapid diversification taking place in the ways people can communicate. Video conferencing allows simultaneous text, visual, and voice communications. Chat and other text technologies are adding voice and video capabilities. In addition, the technology to cross-translate between modalities is maturing. The ability to have individuals talking on one end and reading on the other is already available using human agents in the network. In the future, the ability to translate between sensory modalities may become common for all users. Direct control from the brain, external electrodes in the form of a band cap are available today as commercial products for elementary control directly from the brain. Research involving electrode arrays, which are both external and embedded in the brain, have demonstrated the ability to interface directly with the brain to allow rudimentary control of computers, communicators, manipulators, and environmental controls. Trend 3. Ability to be connected anywhere, anytime, with services on demand. New advances will soon enable people to be connected to communication and information networks no matter where they are. People can leave caretakers and still be a button press away. Everything in the environment will be connected, most often wirelessly, allowing people to think about communication, control, and presence in entirely new ways. Individuals who have trouble with wires and connectors will not need them. Network-based services can provide assistance, on demand, to people wherever they are. These advances will create opportunities for whole new categories of assistive technology. Wireless electronics connected world. There are already wireless headsets, computer networks, music players, and sensors. New technologies, such as Zigbee, will allow for devices that are very small, wirelessly connected, and draw very little power. Light switches, for example, could run off a small 10-year battery and have no wires coming to or from them. People would simply place a light switch on the wall where it was convenient, at a convenient height. Flipping the switch would control the lights as it does now. If someone else needed the light switch in a different place, they would simply move it by pulling it off the wall and replacing it where desired, or placing an additional switch wherever they liked, including on their wheelchair or lap tray. High-speed wireless networks are also evolving, and costs are dropping. No wires will be needed between televisions, video recorders, or anything else, except sometimes the wall. For power, a person in a power wheelchair could have an on-chair controller connected to everything in the house, and yet still be completely mobile. Virtual computers may disappear, and computing power will be available in the network. Wherever a person is, he or she will be able to use whatever display is convenient, e.g., on the wall or in a pocket, to access any information, carry out computing activities, view movies, listen to music, etc. Instead of making each product accessible, things would exist as services and capabilities, which could be accessed through a person's preferred interface. Control of everything from controller of choice. New universal remote console standards have been developed that would allow products to be controlled from other devices. Products implementing these standards could be controlled from interfaces other than the ones on the product. A thermostat with a touchscreen interface, or a stove with flat buttons, for example, could be controlled from a cell phone via speech, or from a small portable braille device. Location awareness, GPS, global positioning system, devices enable people to determine their position when outside, and are already small enough to fit into cell phones and large wristwatches. Other technologies, such as RFID, radio frequency identification, and devices that send signals embedded in the light emitted from overhead light fixtures, are being explored to provide precise location information where GPS does not work. Object identification, tiny chips can be embedded into almost anything to give it a digital signature. RFID chips are now small enough that they are being embedded inside money in Japan. Assistance on demand, anywhere, anytime, with the ability to be connected everywhere comes the ability to seek assistance at any time. A person who doesn't understand how to operate something can instantly involve a friend, colleague, or professional assistant who can see what he or she is looking at and help work through the problem. Someone who needs mobility assistance could travel independently, yet have someone available at the touch of a button. These assistants could help think something through, see how to get past an obstacle, listen for something, translate something, or provide any other type of assistance, and then disappear immediately. Wearable technology. Today there are jackets with built-in music players, with speakers and microphones in the collar. There are keyboards that fold up, and circuitry that is woven into shirts and other clothing. There are now glasses and Shoes with a built-in computer that can detect objects within close proximity through echolocation and then send a vibrating warning signal to the wearer. The shoes also will use a GPS system to tell the wearer where they are and which direction they are going. Implantable technology. There are cochlear implants to provide hearing, heart, and brain pacemakers are common. Increasing miniaturization will allow all types of circuits to be embedded in humans. In addition, research is continuing, not only on biocompatible materials, but also on biological electronics. Trend 4. Creation of virtual places, service providers, products. Possibly one of the most revolutionary advances in information and communication technologies has been the development of the World Wide Web. Although the Internet had been around for a relatively long time by the 1990s, web technologies allowed it to be approachable and usable by people in a way not previously possible. It has not only given people new ways of doing things, but has fostered the development of entirely new social, commercial, and educational concepts. It also has allowed for virtual places that exist only in cyberspace. This includes virtual environments, virtual stores, virtual community centers, and complete virtual communities. Travel is allowing people to go places and see things that once were only possible through books or documentaries. Electronic recreation can allow people to explore real places, as if they were there, and at their own speed. They could wander a famous museum. For example, the web also provides an array of products and services that is unmatched in physical stores in most localities. 4.6 New opportunities. Advances in information and communication technology will provide a number of new opportunities for improvement in the daily lives of individuals with disabilities, including work, education, travel, entertainment, healthcare, and independent living. There is great potential for more accessible mainstream technology with less effort from industry. There is also great potential for better, cheaper, and more effective versions of existing assistive technology, and entirely new types or classes of Opportunity 1. More accessible mainstream products, simpler, more adaptable, more mainstream benefit. Some of the changes that will result FFOM mainstream product design are evolutionary continuations of current trends. Other changes will be revolutionary, changing the nature of mainstream technologies and their usability by people with different types of disabilities. Some examples. Potential for more built-in accessibility. Almost everything today, including cell phones, alarm clocks, microwaves, ovens, washers, and thermostats, is being controlled by one or more microcomputers. Even small devices like TV remote controls have a microcontroller inside. Because most everything is and will increasingly be controlled by programs running on increasingly powerful microprocessors, it is now possible to design products that will follow different instructions and behave differently for different users. Many products can already be adjusted to accommodate disabilities. For example, cell phones have a large print setting. Computers can be adjusted to work for people who have tremors. People can now watch television programs with or without captions. The automated postal centers at many post offices offer touchscreen or tactile buttons and voice output. The ability to create a much broader range of products for the home, workplace, or public that can adapt to meet users' needs is continually increasing, and the cost is dropping. For example, speech is no longer a significant cost factor and can be added with little or no hardware costs. Products that are simpler to use, although the trend today is toward products that are ever more complex. We are on the cusp of a revolution in human interface. The ability for unrestricted voice recognition and natural language processing will come further in the future, and the ability to use these in practical ways in limited domains, e.g., controlling household appliances, is already emerging. When it arrives, the ability to simply tell products what should be done, e.g., cook this at 450 for an hour, or record Wild Kingdom, or wake me at 8:30, will be a tremendous advance for individuals with cognitive disabilities or people who, for any reason, are unable to effectively use knobs, buttons, and menus on products. The mass market appeal of such a capability is enough to drive this into the marketplace on its own as soon as it is ready. For individuals who cannot speak, text input or an aid with speech output could be used. Interoperability to reduce the need for built-in direct access. Direct access is the ability of a user to operate a product without the need for assistive technology. Building direct access into products is generally the most effective, least stigmatizing, most available, and least expensive method of providing access to people with some types of disabilities. For people with other types of disabilities, particularly those with multiple and severe disabilities, it is sometimes not practical to build direct access into mainstream products. The types of interfaces required, such as dynamic braille displays, electrodes, sensors mounted on the wheelchair, etc., typically cannot be included as standard parts for mainstream products. For these people, the best approach may be to access mainstream products by controlling them with special AT interfaces via a standard interconnection control method. This would require these users to have a special AT interface device. The new and emerging wireless interconnectivity technologies and universal remote console standards discussed earlier will enable people needing a special interface to approach a device, link to it, and operate it from their own interface. This could include most any device in the home, work, or community, from a thermostat to office equipment. Universal remote controllers could include any of the current and future types of it, including devices with braille displays, SEEP and puff controls, natural language interfaces, or someday, even direct brain interfaces. This type of connectivity in mainstream products also has the mass market application of enabling control of products with voice or intelligent agents. Flexible, any modality, communication, the trend toward multimodal communication, voice, video, chat, all using the same device, can be a boon for individuals with sensory disabilities, especially individuals who are deaf, hard of hearing, deaf-blind, or speech-impaired. If any modality, communication, can be implemented in mainstream technologies with the same ubiquity as captions are on televisions, individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing will be able to use almost any phone. People who are deaf can use text mode. Those who are deaf but can speak can use speech to talk, and then read the display on the phone for text coming back to them. People who are hard of hearing can listen and have text displayed in parallel, or when they cannot understand. Individuals who sign can use sign language, and individuals with cognitive disabilities can use gestures and visual cues to facilitate communication. If the evolving translation capabilities are added, services in the network can change. Communication modality is needed. Communicating with someone at a distance may be easier than communicating face-to-face. Building these capabilities into mainstream technologies also may greatly assist in the adoption and use of these modalities by individuals who acquire disabilities as they age, by reducing the stigma that would ordinarily be associated with using special technologies. Where these advances have demonstrable mainstream benefit, adoption will be easier and faster, and, like closed captioning, will gain universal acceptance and consumer demand. Only some accessibility features, however, will have enough mainstream benefit to be introduced and be maintained. For the rest, support and/or incentives must be provided. Opportunity to better, cheaper, more effective, at and new types of AT technology advances will result in the improvement of current assistive technologies and the introduction of entirely new types of AT. Some of these technologies are realizable today, some will emerge in the future, but all should be considered when setting policy today, due to the very slow pace at which policy changes as compared to technology, cost, size, and power, the rapid advances being made every year in reducing the size and increasing the power of electronic devices is leading to smaller, less expensive, and more intelligent products. This provides for a greater opportunity to create assistive technologies that previously would have been too big or required too much power. Inexpensive technologies. One concern regarding the use of personal technologies by people with cognitive disabilities is the risk that the products will be lost or stolen. with core functions being implemented as services on the network, and technology costs dropping precipitously, portable devices that could support queuing and other ad functions for those with cognitive disabilities will soon be so inexpensive that they can be easily replaced if lost. To reach these price points, however, the devices will have to be based on common mainstream devices. As speech and natural language enabled technologies and intelligent agent software improve, mainstream products that could be used in these ways may be possible within the next decade. Wearable technologies. The trend toward wearable technologies will obviate the need for people with disabilities to carry devices, leaving their hands free for other tasks. This will be particularly helpful for people who use canes, walkers, and service animals, and generally already have at least one hand in use. People who have cognitive disability that makes it difficult to remember such devices, and who might therefore leave them behind, will also benefit from wearable technologies. Network-based services can further reduce costs by putting the intelligence and memory in the network and allow a new device to pick up where the last one left off, without any need for reprogramming. Very sophisticated communication and health monitoring technologies can now be worn on the wrist or woven into clothes, making them less likely to be left behind. The trend is toward less expensive products with more functions. Translating and transforming it, information throughout the environment is presented at a wide range of levels of complexity, which can create difficulties for people with cognitive disabilities. As researchers master the ability to create technology that can translate between languages, including translation between more complex and simpler languages, they are developing many of the tools needed to translate between different levels of complexity and vocabularies within the same language. These language translation technologies could be adapted to translate between sign languages and spoken languages. A potential for new intelligent tech. With rapidly shrinking technologies, it will not be long before it is possible to implant imaging devices into contact lenses, so that even individuals with good vision could have enhanced vision, automated or human-based queuing on demand, text that could be read aloud by looking at it, etc. Such capabilities could be a boon to individuals with language, learning, or cognitive disabilities. Already, there are cameras that will read text when it is photographed, and concept glasses with built-in cameras that perform face recognition of whomever a person looks at. With the use of heuristics with increasing computing power, it is also possible to begin thinking about assistive technologies that would take in a complex display of information, e.g., all of the text visible down the corridor at the shopping mall, and present it to a person in a coherent way. Human augmentation, in addition to making the world more usable by people with disabilities, advances in technology can also help enhance the overall abilities of people with disabilities to better interact with the world as they encounter it. Cochlear implants have been available for some time, as have prosthetic limbs. Research is progressing on artificial retinas. Advances in electronic imaging, robotics, and computer processing promise advances in all of these areas, enhancing people's basic abilities to access the world as they encounter it. These new imaging and processing technologies also open the door for providing individuals with flu in different ways to mitigate their disability. For example, an artificial eye might be able to provide enough vision for basic mobility, but not enough to read low-point type. The same artificial eye, however, could have a processor and optical character recognition capability built in that could read any text the person looked at. The text could be read, changed to speech, and transmitted to a tiny earpiece. The person could then see a piece of paper well enough to pick it up, use their residual vision to direct the reading of the text, and have the text read into their ear. Using network connectivity, they could also have it translated, enhanced, or explained if needed. Combining technologies that mimic human abilities and provide enhanced superhuman function in a single implantable prosthesis raises new opportunities and potentials for restoring function that go beyond the ability to restore natural vision. Emerging trends, technologies that allow the unimaginable, Individuals are already using direct brain control for rudimentary communication and manipulation activities. However, this currently requires that the skull be opened up and electrode arrays inserted. In the future, with advanced signal processing, it may be possible to read the signals from outside of the skull, or tiny sensors smaller than a blood cell might be injected into the bloodstream. Under computer control, they would be directed to swim to the brain, where they would position themselves, forming a sensor net powered by body processes or radiated power. They would provide a map of brain activity and feed it to an external sensor worn on glasses or earpieces and connect to a network, enabling the user to control the environment, drive a wheelchair, communicate, look up information, etc. No surgery would be required, and a device could fail without disrupting the network. Opportunity 3. Decrease net cost while increasing quality of life. Although the cost of technologies is continually decreasing, the cost is not zero. Some assistive technologies may in fact be expensive. The cost for some types of specialized technology could run to Rs. 5 lakh or more, much more if it needs to be surgically implanted. The cost for failing to make technology accessible to people with disabilities, however, can be even higher. The 2005 average cost of nursing home care in the USA, for example, was over $60,000 a year for a semi-private room. JTHAT leaves quite a margin for technologies that would delay entry into a nursing home by even 6 months or that could allow a person to live in a semi-dependent living situation. 4.7 Smart Technologies. National Knowledge Network. National Knowledge Network is being established to interactively connect all knowledge research institutions in our country through an electronic digital high-bandwidth network. The massive amount of information is set to traverse this national network, allowing every university and school to access super high-quality real-time video seen never before in India. The National Knowledge Network will enable researchers in academia from different backgrounds and diverse geographies to work closely for development in critical and emerging S. India has over 7,000 kilometers of optical fiber network spread between BSNL, VSNL and private telecom service providers. NKN may play a vital role in integrating the institutions working for the disabled, so that the best use of knowledge and resources available in these institutions can be made. Electronic reading devices. Laser cane. The laser cane has 3 laser beam channels projected from the cane to detect upward, forward and downward obstacles. Mini-guide. The mini-guide is an ultrasonic obstacle detector, offering audio or tactile feedback. It is designed for use with other traditionally mobility aids such as a long vane or guide dog. Sonic Pathfinder. It is a head-mounted sonar system for obstacle detection. GPS system. The newest aid in function is GPS. GPS is based on the distance calculation of a signal transmission between a GPS receiver and 4 GPS satellites. A GPS receiver calculates its position by precisely timing the signals sent by the GPS satellites high above the Earth. Each satellite continually transmits messages containing the time the message was sent, precise orbital information, the ephemeris, and the general system health and rough orbits of all GPS satellites. The almanac. The receiver measures the transit time of each message and computes the distance to each satellite. Geometric trilateration is used to combine these distances with the location of the satellites to determine the receiver's location. The position is displayed, perhaps with a moving map display, or latitude and longitude. Elevation information may be included. Many GPS units also show derived information such as direction and speed, calculated from position changes. Accessible pedestrian signals, APS. The most common forms of APS are push buttons installed at intersections, buzzers that make sounds, and chirp sound signals indicating that it is safe to walk. 4.8 Unit Summary. This completes our discussion on the emerging trends. Some very elementary terms have not been defined here. You have to study these on your own. A course in this area must be supplemented by further readings to keep your knowledge up to date, as there is constant change in technology. In addition to further readings, the students are advised to study journals, technology magazines, where new developments are showcased. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with next chapter.